Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am super excited tonight to have Gavin Walsh, super rapid fat loss expert from the UK. He is a personal trainer, one of the top notch in his country, and I am really pumped up tonight to have a special interview with him. I'm going to hit him up with a few questions, and hopefully we can get some answers. He has trained people from all walks of life, ranging from everyday moms to high-flying executives, celebrities, and even a little bit of royalty. His work has been featured in Men's Health, Men's Fitness, Grazia, OK, and Harper's Bazaar, not to mention a few other publications. Gavin has several online training programs, but the one that has impressed the biggest online following is called Lean in 19. It is an extreme fat loss plan with 19 follow-along workouts and a breakthrough method that he calls the hot zone cycle. I can't wait to hear about that. Men and women are able to lose 17 pounds in 19 days, which that sounds pretty intense to me. So I'm definitely going to be asking him some questions of my own about that. So let's talk about Gavin and his fat loss expertise and his business that he's run for years, having to do with diet, exercise, and mindset. So Gavin, welcome. Good to have you tonight.
Thanks, Dawn. That's a lovely intro. It's one of the best ones I've had, I would say.
Ah, thank you.
So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
Sure. So I also want to mention that if you have any questions later at the end of the interview, you can reach Gavin at walshthefataway.com. Wow, that's tricky. Love that one.
That's an old domain name, but I've kept it, and it's a little bit cheesy, you know. Walsh the Fataway.
Yeah, a little bit cheesy. Words. It's awesome because it sounds real. It sounds like it came to mind, and it sounds real. So tell me a little bit about your story. I mean, every personal trainer that's an expert has a story. So how did you get started in your fitness business?
I've been in the industry for probably, I don't know, about 14 years now. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a veteran now, I guess. And started, I was sporty as a kid, as a lot of personal trainers are. Did lots of sports, basketball, football, or soccer, as you guys say. And then went to university, did sports science, and then after that, kind of fell into personal training. And then ever since, I've just been working from there. So my first sort of personal training jobs were based in London, and when you're in London, it's one of the best places to be in the UK for personal training, but it's very, very competitive. So, if you're going to be a personal trainer, you've got to do a good job, especially if you're in London, because there's so many personal trainers. You've got to make sure you get the results for your clients.
Oh, sure. And that's obviously a very huge city known around the world. So if you're an expert in London, you must know what you're talking about, and I can't wait to ask you some questions.
Right, I like to think so. When I was in London, I think, from getting the results with a lot of clients, and I think in a lot of major cities across the world, when you've got people that they're working hard, stressful jobs, they want to stay fit, but they want to do it quickly, so they're kind of impatient. So if you're a good trainer, then you can get the results quickly, but you can make them last as well. So
right.
And that's kind of.
You train men and women with your program, Lean in 19?
Well, mainly women, actually. For one reason or another, it tends to be women that gravitate towards it. So I'd probably say it's probably around about 95% women.
Wow.
Yeah, get the odd guy who jumps on it, but
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I can understand, because I am a woman, and most women have made the worst mistakes. I mean, what do you find are the mistakes that you keep seeing repetitively that women just have the hardest time getting through? Is there any one thing, or is there all of it, or you tell me what's that?
Well, how much time do we have? Or can we?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what time is it there, by the way? I mean, you're in London right now. I'm in Michigan in the United States.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is the tinterweb. We love it.
Right. So go on. I asked you about the mistakes that you've seen over and over.
Talking about the mistakes, I mean, you've got the common ones. People doing sit-ups to try and burn belly fat. And in fact, it was just last week I had a chat with a lady, and she wanted to gain shape for this thing she was doing on TV. She was singing with Burt Bacharach or something like that, and she was going to be on TV.
Alive?
Yeah, I know. Like when she told me, like, okay.
Wow, right.
So she told me what she'd been doing, and she said, I've been doing, lots of cardio. I've been out running. I've been doing lots of sit-ups, but I can't get rid of this tummy fat around here. And And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, right. So then I had to explain to her, try not to upset her, because she's been putting in the effort. I mean, that's the thing for a lot of women, they're putting in the effort, but they're not getting the results. And it's just, it's maybe a lack of education, or, the media. So there's so many things, but what I try and do with my Lean in 19 program is try and fill the gaps. So a lot of people, they struggle time wise, especially if you're over 30, 35, 40, you've got kids,
right?
There's work, so you're juggling all the time. So a lot of people think, right, if I'm going to exercise, then I need to be doing 40, 50 minutes an hour, and it's not the case, especially for people who haven't got a lot of time. So you need to try and get that out of your head. You do not need to be in the gym for an hour. You can cut that time in half, and even less if you're really stuck for time. So you can do a good workout in 10 minutes if you go hard. And my programs, not just Lean in 19, but ones that I had for my personal training clients, their homework that I give them, the workouts range from anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes.
Right, and everybody has that amount of time.
Yeah. And it's trying to fit it into their lifestyle, their schedule. If I say, right, you need to exercise an hour every day, this is not going to happen. They'll give up. Some people will do it, but to try and keep that up long term, it's just a no-go. So
but everybody still has a favorite show that they watch for an hour, but they don't have 20 minutes to follow a quick result-getting exercise program. So,
and if they exercise in the correct way, they can bang out 20 minutes. Get a good workout, get a good sweat on, 100%. And then sit down and watch Game of Thrones. That's fine. I don't mind that.
Right. So now you look pretty lean and fit. I mean, were you always lean? Or, I mean, it seems like most personal trainers and most people in the fitness industry weren't just born fit. Most people that I know that I've come to bond with have a story. So do you have a story?
Yeah, definitely. Well, when I was a kid and I was growing up, my parents knew nothing about diet. And so my diet was fizzy drinks, lots of processed foods, sweets, sugar, 3 slices of bread with every meal. One of my things I tell people is I used to have mashed potato sandwiches. So I don't know you guys in the States.
Oh my God.
Does anyone do that apart from me? I don't know. But we have a big roast dinner, chicken, mashed potato, vegetables on that, all the works. Everyone in the UK has it on a Sunday. And I used to have a slice of bread with, put some mash on there, bang, there we go, and a mash sandwich.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So that was just one of the things that I used to do. So my diet was definitely not good, and I was sporty, so it didn't really matter at the time when I was a kid. I was running around a lot, even through university. Going out and drinking and partying because I was so active. Yeah, it kind of balanced out a little bit. I mean, I certainly wasn't lean at that point.
Right.
Is when I started getting into my fitness, into personal training, and trying to look the part, for my clients, and
sure.
And that's when my focused on the diet side of things. It didn't happen overnight, and I didn't have anyone to point it out to me either. Don't eat this, don't eat that, and you'll get lean. So it's kind of experimenting, and then eventually things fall into place, and like, oh, I'm pretty lean. I'm looking good. So I try and teach people the foundations so that they will stay lean. So what I try and teach people is cut out the processed food, sugar.
Oh, definitely.
Refined carbs.
Right.
What else have we got? All the nasties, really.
Right.
Sometimes
packaged foods and pre-processed foods that come in packages, right?
All those things, and I'm not saying you have to you cut them out for the rest of your life, because I'm not a saint. I go out the weekend and still have a drink and enjoy dessert as much as the next person. But in order to try and especially for people starting, and it helps if they can get brilliant results straight off the bat. And that excites them, and it makes them want to keep it up. The problem with a lot of training programs, diets, perhaps, is the results come too slow initially, and it doesn't excite people. It doesn't motivate them to keep it going. So, one of the things I do is try and hit the diet and make sure that all the nasties are out. The prepackaged foods, the refined carbs, all those things that are out of the diet, and we're trying to give the body the best chance to burn as much fat as possible.
Sure. Is that how your program came to be in the first place was because of your background with the way you ate? I mean, is that, Lean in 19, that's a catchy name, and I definitely want to hear more about how that.
Yeah, it's a fun. Well, it wasn't actually me. Actually, it was my sister. So the way it happened was, she lived miles away from me. She was far up the other side of the UK, and one day she just gave me a call and said, Gav, I really want to lose weight. What shall I do? And she said, can you do me a program? And I went, well, I've done programs in the past with family, and
right.
They just don't follow them. So what I did with Sarah, I said to her, okay, I want to see if you're serious about this. So the next day I sent her a text message, and just with a little workout in there, I said, do this and then let me know how you go on. And so it was a short, intense kind of workout, but I think it was around about 10 minutes or something like that. And the next day she sent me a message, said, Gav, I ate like hell, but what's my next workout? I'm up for this. So I thought, okay, she is serious. So got on the phone to her again and said, okay, if you're going to do this properly, all right, let's have a chat. So I told her about some of the things that I do with my clients to try and get them the best results. So one of those things being, cutting out all those processed food, fizzy drinks, sugar,
right,
to get them started, and a couple of more advanced techniques. And then she turned around and said to me, well, can we just do all of that? I want to go for this. I want to really push it. And it's like, oh, well, I'm not sure about that because it's a little bit extreme. I've never tried it with anyone before, and I'd never known anybody who had combined these different techniques. And so she was kind of a guinea pig, and she didn't mind it. And I thought, okay, we'll go with it and see how it goes. So I planned like a 5-day cycle. So where she would use intermittent fasting, dropping the carbs, having a cheat day. So we basically trying to get her hormones working properly.
Right.
And also stopping her metabolism from dipping. So we threw in a cheat day.
How old was your sister when she started this plan?
Sorry?
How old was your sister when she started this plan? Because I work mainly with women as well.
Yeah. Well, she's 31 now, so she would have been about 28.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and the results were amazing. So we did this for 19 days, and at the end of the 19 days, she'd lost 17 pounds, and I think it was 15 inches. And wow. It blew me away. I was like, wow.
It was a champ. Your program worked amazingly.
Yeah. And it was accidental,
So you wrote it out. I mean, so I guess my question is, so do you have is there a program to follow after that? Because I mean, that sounds intense, and we know that can work. So how does is there a transition period? What happens after that?
Yeah, well, I keep going back to these foundations of, cutting out the processed food and everything like that. And that's what I try and hammer that home during the program, because during the program, instead of getting text messages, you get emails from me instead. The follow-along workouts even mention the foundations. Don't forget that. That's the basics. Because if any diet, whatever you follow, if you go back to eating rubbish,
of course,
then the weight's just going to come back up. So
rubbish. I love that accent, rubbish.
So yeah, at the same time, it is kind of extreme because most people don't lose that sort of weight in that sort of time.
Sure.
But because what I'm trying to do is optimize her hormones, burn the calories, but trying to skyrocket her metabolism at the same time. So there's a lot going on there, and that you can't. Well, I mean, some people do several rounds of it. I say don't do it again. Don't do it back to back. Have a couple of weeks off if you've got a lot of weight to lose. Go back on it. But the idea is you can use those workouts that I've got in there, but you won't use all those techniques. So you will just follow the basics really with the foundations. And that's if you can get that and dial in the exercise as well, you can still go out and enjoy your food. Have a few glasses of wine. Have a good time. And
so that sounds good, because most people equate a diet or nutrition plan or a program with everything they're not allowed to do, and they want to, lay there and moan and groan instead of like your original thing, what we spoke of when we first met at whatever the fitness business summit, whatever I know we met at a fitness type of thing talking about people's mindset. You have to change your mind first, and your body has to follow, and then. So I guess my next question is, is that a typical result? I mean, I know you've said that was pretty intense for 19 days. So, And 28, I mean, most of the women that I train are 35, 45, my age, more,
Yeah.
So what is a typical result with your plan?
Yeah, I'd say on average, I mean, it does depend on how much weight somebody's got to lose. And, I don't just focus on the weight side of things.
Right.
I get them to take their inches, and there's a success journal as well. So they're tracking everything so they know what's going on. And so some people might just lose 5 pounds, but they're the ones that are relatively lean in the first place. And,
Right.
I get them to take the photos as well. But I'd say on average, you probably get somewhere in the region of 10 to 13 pounds over the 19 days. And then you get some people who just blow it out of the water. I've had somebody who lost 25 pounds in the 19 days. And then I had a guy actually who followed the plan. Couldn't do the exercise for one reason or another, but he followed the diet. And he sent me a message on day 10, and he said, Gav, I'm doing really well. I've lost 17 pounds in 10 days.
Damn you guys.
Yeah, I was like, hey, what? How is that even possible?
Right.
But he was a big guy, so
right.
The more you've got to lose, the more
Sure.
you're going to lose. So
right.
So, yeah.
And everybody's body has a different, metabolic, hormonal balance or imbalance.
Yeah.
So, do you think that your plan does anything pro or con for women with hormones? I mean, I talk a lot about hormones with women in my plan too. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, with the 5-day cycle that I have, it's all to do with the hormones. I don't tell people to count calories, and I don't believe in counting calories. It's just a no-go. It's going to drive you crazy. So no counting calories, no sins, no mumbo jumbo. Just eat real food, and then we do a couple of other things to try and optimize those hormones. And I think it's really, really important because 50 years ago or so, there wasn't all this processed food. It wasn't so much sugar, and nowadays people are eating so much of it. It's hard to get away from. So we've got to take it a little further. Perhaps 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you could just focus on the calories. It wouldn't be too much of an issue.
Right.
Certainly 40, 50 years ago, it'd be fine. Just focus on the calories, you'll lose weight. But nowadays, there's so much crap in the diet.
I completely agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've got to try and focus on those hormones, and I think more and more people are beginning to realize that.
Right. Is that the same? It's funny because you're in the UK, I'm in the United States. I mean, I go grocery shopping maybe once or twice a week, and everything is kept in the freezer. I think of Europe or Paris or these places. Like, do you go to the market every day, or do you have prepackaged food in McDonald's everywhere? I mean, that makes all the difference in the world too. People's cooking habits and preparing ahead, again, with that mindset of planning ahead to succeed, meaning you don't think when I'm starving, what am I going to eat? You already have the foods on hand, and just like,
Yeah. I say you've got to plan sometimes. You've got to make sure, if you do want to change the way you look and feel, like my sister, there was a point where it was like, that was enough. And that's when she gave me the call, and she'd made that decision, and she wanted that help. And people, I guess people watching these videos that we do, they're in the same sort of boat. They want to change. They're trying to educate themselves. So, hopefully, they've said to themselves, enough is enough. I'm not going to eat any more rubbish. My mindset is good. I know that I'm going to plan, and I'm going to follow through, and don't go back to eating all the rubbish, and hopefully don't go back, you talk about cardio as well, and I'm not a big fan of cardio.
No. And I'm so excited. I mean, the most exciting thing for me with this interview is I have only interviewed a couple other people, and I've been interviewed, and this group of people that I'm having this bond with, even though yours is a quicker, faster, rapid fat loss, that intrigues me because you still talk about no garbage, no sugar, eating real food. You can have a glass of wine. So it's not that mindset of back in the day. You and I speak the same language, not counting every number of calories or points. I mean, all that stuff is such a negative mindset that by the third day, people are secretly looking at what they can binge on, or, oh, I haven't seen something immediately, instead of the mindset. And your plan probably works a little more quickly than mine does. Even though I think they're both geared towards the same thing, the outcome is a little bit different, which is great. I mean, people like options.
And I think one of the reasons people like, our programs is the accountability. That's one of the reasons that my sister did so well, is because I was texting her every day, that little message, that's that little nudge. And And that's so important to have that accountability. I think whether you have a trainer or you follow an online program like ours, but just to have somebody just to help you along the way, to show you that the right path.
Right.
And with my program, I shoot them an email every day, and they can email me back, and a lot of people do. It's just say hi, and they're surprised when they get a reply back. They're like, oh, you're a real person.
That really is awesome. And this industry, selling an internet product and to help people, feel better about themselves, look better, for me, it's women getting their, sexiness back and taking control of their lives. Yours is having people, feel energized, dropping that weight and having that personal touch from you. I mean, that is a win-win situation right there. Like you said, accountability. And that's a huge thing. If you have a personal connection with a person, they're going to think, ooh, if I texted Gavin or emailed Gavin, I better get back with him in 2 weeks. And I think people are doing the same thing with me. And that's what personal training is, right?
Exactly.
Right. So watching this video is great. I mean, so how would people, do you have any other way or any other thing that a person could have access to your information? I mean, would they go, we will have a link at the bottom of this page, leanin19.com. But is there any other way or thing that you'd like to add for people being able to contact you?
Yeah, I mean, if people want to ask any questions, I'm always open to questions if they need any help. But yeah, you can go to the website we mentioned at the start. It's walshthefataway.com, and you can shoot me a message on there. There's lots of videos and articles. I think there's even an interview with you on there.
Yeah.
So jump on there. There's also a little kind of a nutrition sort of manual diet type thing, and it focuses on those things that we talked about, trying to cut out all the rubbish. Right. It's nowhere near as extreme as my Leanin 19 program, but that's for people who want to get results quickly and are prepared to sort of work hard for it. But the sort of the diet plan that I've got on Walsh the Fat Away is trying to just educate people again and just get them into the right sort of mindset of not eating rubbish.
So that's
Yeah, they can catch me on there. Jump on Leanin 19, which is lean19.com.
And people can also subscribe, like we spoke of, to your YouTube channel.
Yep, YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook. There's a Facebook page as well, and I have a Facebook group as well for people who join Lean 19, and so they all chat to each other, and I jump in there.
That's excellent. That's a great way to build a community of accountability to you and to the people that are following your product and obviously getting results. I mean, that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's nice. They all talk to each other. Right. They support each other, and everyone has ups and downs. I wouldn't be honest if I said people didn't struggle from time to time. So the Facebook group that we have is kind of, if someone's having a bad day, they can jump in there and say, oh, guys, help me out. I'm struggling. Right. No, so everybody gets on there and they say, come on, chin up. Let's keep on it.
Right. It's not about a cheat day or like I tell the people with my product and the girls that I train in my gym, it's not about beating yourself up. It's moving forward. Okay. So you ate a piece of birthday cake. You feel bad about yourself. Move forward. It does not mean go do more cardio. It means, just move forward, notice it, notice what you were feeling like. It's not, don't stay in that zone of feeling crappy about yourself. Just move forward and know that you're human and you can make a better choice next time. And,
It's true. There are a lot of women do beat themselves up when they go off track, and it's a little bit upsetting because they've been doing so well, and then they go off, they miss a workout, or they, like you said, eat some birthday cake. Right. They really beat themselves up about it. I mean, it's like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. So just move on, keep it going.
Do you find it's funny that we have not spoken of this before, but I will have somebody send me an email or a text early in the morning. Oh, great. I just ate a donut or I just ate a bagel and cream cheese. So my day is ruined. I'll start over tomorrow. And I want to go to their house and shake them and say, no, so big deal. Your next meal should be healthy and cut the sugar and drink some water and get in a good workout tonight. It seems like so many women are so all or nothing. And that's why they have such a hard time with your body might take a couple days or a week to adapt. And even though Leanin 19 doesn't mean lean in one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still an adaptation process that your body needs to go through. And like you said, with the detoxifying and cutting out the junk, the rubbish that you said, that is just the everyday thing that is on most people's plates.
And I don't know about your program, but some of the women and some of the guys, when they start mine, especially if their diet has been really bad, they've come into this and they're super pumped to get started, and the first few days is hard for them because they get headaches, they feel sluggish, and it's almost they're kind of, especially on the Facebook group, they'll write like, should you feel like this? I'm trying to make myself feel better.
The more toxic they started out, the more junk that their body is loaded with. It's just like a person that would drink 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day. If all of a sudden they stop drinking coffee, they're like, they're going to have the headache. They're completely irritable. They think they're going to die without their coffee until they get through that next little step. But I mean, I don't think that yours is that extreme. I mean, isn't yours just,
Yeah, so I eat real food. Those are my foundations, and there's no. It was workarounds. Some of the exercise. The exercise isn't even extreme. It's not like Sean T. Let's go and go mental.
No, you don't have 500 burpees as the warm up.
Exactly. So I try and throw in adaptations, substitutes, because it's me doing the workouts with them as well. So they'll see.
They're follow along as well. Okay, great.
And certain exercises like burpees that people, some people can't do burpees, so I throw in different little tweaks so people can do them.
Excellent. Good to know. So it's nutrition. It is exercises that are very doable, and if you can't do them, there's an adaptation or an alternative exercise they can do. Awesome.
Yeah, nutrition, the exercise, and the exercise, not just doing the slow, boring cardio, and then accountability. So if you can get those 3 things, into a program, and into not just a program, but into your head,
right?
Long term, then you'll do well. So regardless of whether people do, my program or your program, they need to have those things going on.
Right. So anything you'd like to add before we wrap it up for our listeners or our viewers?
No, I'm all good. I could chat for hours here. This is great.
I could as well, But we'll have to do that when we're not on the air, though. Unless, of course, it's. We can do this again. This is great because I think that we're covering topics as we're having the conversation. I'm thinking of things that, I also am a hairstylist, and I've done hair for 28 years. And I have probably 90% clientele of women there. So I've stood behind the chair and listened to women complain for 28 years. So, if you want to talk about someone that knows what women complain about, it's me. And obviously, you said most of your clientele that you train, personal training and buy your products are women. Women need us. Yeah. And I think they're so misled by the media and plastic surgery and every woman that's all shrink wrapped and whatever. I mean, obviously those are personal choices, but I think the realistic goals can still happen if you are led down the right path.
And it's great that people want to lose weight, and there's a lot of people out there that do need to lose weight, but it's also looking at health and happiness, just trying to get confidence back, trying to energize you, trying to make sure that you're just not feeling down in the dumps all the time.
Right. No, confidence, that's a huge thing. I think as women get past that 35, 45, they just think they're not supposed to be attractive or sexy or energized. And that's something that should be for the youthful girls. And I completely will battle that to the day I can't anymore, but battle it in a healthy way, an energized way. And your interview with me, I talk about, how to reclaim your energy and your sexiness back. And I think that your program definitely talks about, it's an energizing program and it's a confidence program. And those things are so needed with women and men, and even though our products definitely go towards women, because I think women noticeably have more issues, or they're the ones that try to get the fix more often, So, but I like your plan. I'm really looking forward to, getting to know a little bit more about that and promoting it to my friends. It sounds like a great way to go. Definitely different than mine, which is great. People like options, but they still have the same foundation.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, this is the thing. Yeah, it's kind of geared up for people who don't have a lot of time. They've perhaps got family, or they can't get to the gym, and they can work out at home.
Right.
Short workouts, it's 19 days. There's even a few, I say to people, you can have a few days off. I'll give you free lives. So like a computer game, you get free lives. So you can use those lives that whenever you want. If your body is in bits, then fine, take a day off. But go on to the next day, and don't try and catch up on workouts. If you miss one, fine, go on to the next one.
Right. And obviously, if you're new to these exercises, you're going to be a little bit sore. Your body's going to feel like it's been used before because it has not been probably for a while, and that's normal. And the last thing you want to do is stop working out for a week. The best way to...
Yeah, there's a lot of women who complain about sore butts, but that's a good thing.
Oh, a sore butt means a firm, tight butt.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. Right.
So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I'm all ears, and I'm sure you are too.
Yes.
We just want to help people, so
right.
We're here for.
I think we're doing a good job, and I'm really happy to have had this interview with you, Gavin. And this internet thing, it's still crazy to me. The hairdressing and the personal training. Now I'm across the world with promoting our products that have already helped hundreds of people. And it's just really awesome to have a personal connection with somebody that thinks like I do and promotes the same thing as I do. This is awesome.
But obviously, what people don't know is that we spent about 20 minutes trying to get this to work beforehand.
Yeah, right. I'm all smiles and calm down now. But about 20 minutes ago, I thought, oh my gosh, this technology is so beyond me. I need the person right in front of me. But you are.
We got there in the end.
Everything's great now. Right.
Awesome.
All right, so this was Gavin Walsh from Lean in 19, fat loss expert, and I'm super happy to have had this interview tonight, and I'm looking forward to checking up on you, seeing you soon, Gavin.
Awesome, Don. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Catch you later.
Bye.